I am back again. I've been trying this a couple times today, having technical difficulty with the animals that are going crazy because of the snowstorm. So they're trying to get out. Anyhow, so squatters' rights, what's going on with that? Everywhere you turn, there's a new story in the news about squatters taking over a house, and the homeowners try to go in there and force them out, move them out, and the homeowners get arrested. So why is this all suddenly an issue? Well, there's a few things going on here. One is it's really it depends what state you're living in. Squatters' rights are they're called adverse possession rules in real estate. So each state has different real estate laws. So adverse possession in Minnesota, my state, is 15 years. So if you move into a property for 15 years, excuse me, I got a cat trying to attack the computer here again. Move into a property for 15 years, you can take title to it. And you have to live there without, anyone complaining. You can't fight them off and just stay in there for 15 years. You have to live there as your primary residence, receive mail, use it without anyone objecting to it. People know it as your property. So that's the rule in Minnesota. You can do it with land, you can do it with houses and buildings. It's just as long as you're occupying it and people know it as your property, you have a claim to the title. Other states have different laws. You're going to notice a theme in all these stories. I had a friend send me another one this morning. That's what brought this up. We started cracking up on it because it's the same old story. It's California, it's New York, it's those states, and it's their state laws, and that's what's doing it. So we also kind of joke because National Association of Realtors, they're in the midst of this huge lawsuit, right? Being charged with overcharging of commissions, and the Department of Justice is wrapped up into that one. They're pushing the lawsuit, so we're trying to negotiate with the Department of Justice to accept the plea deal or the whatever they call it, right? You're going to make a settlement. That's what I'm looking for. Plea deal would be criminal. So what do I know about law? Anyhow, so the National Association of Realtors advocates for home ownership, right? They want to see property rights. They want to see home ownership. So that's really what the organization does. This is a lobbying group for that. But right now they're tied up in dealing with these lawsuits, and they got treble damages of like $5 billion and, trying to do this settlement. And so a lot of this is going unchecked, and these are state issues. So the state association should be tackling these. But anyhow, so that aside, you go into state of New York, their laws on the books are now you occupy that house or that property for 30 days. And then you have a claim to that property title. So you could own that house after 30 days of occupying it. It used to be 10 years. So you used to have to occupy that house in New York for 10 years. Now it's 30 days. And they changed that law in 2008. And I jumped online to try to figure out why they changed it. I don't have any connection to New York. If you guys are from New York, let me know what happened there. Why did they change that from 10 years to 30 days? And what happened in 2008? What was the reasoning for that? I understand why you want to get properties back on the tax rolls and being occupied and stuff, but 30 days is extreme. People go on vacation for 30 days. 5 years is California. So you can occupy it for 5 years, and then you have a legal claim. There's some other procedures you have to do. I'm not an expert in California either. Florida, I tried to look that one up. Florida does not easy to find out what you have to do. Florida laws look very complicated. There's a long laundry list of things you have to do you have to make improvements, you have to pay taxes, you have to do all this stuff to get the adverse possession rights. So you don't see a lot of those stories coming out of Florida now, do you? So really, if you're concerned about these squatters taking over properties, look at your state laws, talk to your state legislatures. What's going on there? Why are people able to take that property so fast? You'll see that TikTok video where that illegal immigrant coming up from, where was he from? Venezuela. He gets on TikTok and he tells everyone, all his followers on TikTok, to come to the US, and all you have to do is take over a house and stay there, and then that house becomes yours. Why live on the street? And of course, with 30 days, why wouldn't you do that? That's absurd. Anyone in their right mind who was homeless, struggling, or wanted to have a nicer house, why buy a house? Just take it over. Just move in there for 30 days. What do you have to lose? you're already probably, got a criminal background. So, just take it over. It's yours. You can turn it into a nice little business, start flipping properties that way. So 30 days is absurd. I don't know why they have that one on the books, but that's the reason you're seeing all these squatter issues coming out where these people are fighting to get their homes back. I haven't looked up all the states, but different states have different rules. So look up your state and see what's going on there. There's another issue out there that's brewing too. And this one is it's title theft. And this is really going to get in the weeds. I'm not going to get into much detail on this. I don't have a deep understanding of how they're pulling this off yet. I haven't seen it in my state yet. I'm sure it's happening. Once it starts to become a little bit bigger problem, I'm sure we'll be notified of it from the association. But basically, it's a title scam. They're stealing title. So it's like identity fraud, and they'll go in there and then they'll get mail shifted somehow to their address and be able to tell the title, the state or the county where they're recording the deed at, that they're the owner of the property. So then they refile it as they're the new owner of the property. And there's some state laws that allow this to happen unchecked. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But that's another issue we're dealing with out there. There's companies out there that this is a big enough problem that there's companies starting title, not just title insurance, but title theft insurance to prevent this kind of identity theft with property titles. So there's a lot of equity out there. Obviously, anytime there's a deep pocket, people are going to line up to try to steal it. You have to be vigilant. So I'm going to dig into that one and do a little more research on it. Because that one's probably a growing problem as house prices keep increasing. The homeowners get more equity, and the people struggling, or the two halves are dividing even further, the haves and have-nots. And that boils down from printing of money where asset prices inflate. And if you're not on that elevator, you're getting left behind, which is unfortunate. I don't agree with it, but that's the reality of the situation and why you should own some sort of assets or property is because of the printing of money. So that's what's going on out there. Keep an eye open, look for that common theme of where these stories are happening. And if you're in one of those states where you think it's a concern, look up your state laws under adverse possession and figure out how to protect yourself. Because if you have some asset, you have some money, you're going to become a target. There's people always trying to get the get rich quick scheme, trying to find the easy way out. And if you have any sort of asset, they're going to go after it. So that's what I got. Hope you have a good day, and we'll dig more into what this title theft is about. But it's a crazy world out there. So take care.